Okay. Well, welcome. Good morning, everyone, or good day, I guess, if you're watching the recording. Finding a comfortable seat, taking a few moments to settle in. Just notice how the state of your breath as you come to your seat, as you come to your practice. Giving yourself a chance to take stock of what's here, what's present with you. How is your breath? How is your body? What state is your mind in this morning or at this moment? And allow yourself to be here kind of with all that is in this moment. Allowing for the space to see what is here to see. And what's going on with different aspects of you. Noticing what parts of your body have tension. Noticing if it would feel okay to release any of that tension. Common areas could be the face, the forehead, the jaw. And checking in on your neck and shoulders. Checking on your pelvis and low back. Maybe in the hips, legs. How do your fingers and toes feel? Are they gripping? Can they be soft? And breathe. You might notice if your breath has changed from the very first moments that we entered practice. Maybe allowing the breath to deepen, to slow. Noticing if tension has crept in anywhere, that you were able to release some. And then feel the support below your body. Feel the support of the chair, the support of the ground. Allowing a sense of sinking into that support. Trusting the support. Allowing your breath to move through you. Then from here, bring your awareness back into the space around you. And we'll start to move gently. With your exhale, letting your chin dip down towards the chest. Inhaling to lift the chin up again. Continuing to move with your breath a few times, a few cycles. And the next time you feel balanced, let your head come back to center again. Pausing for a moment. And then exhale as you look over one shoulder. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. Exhaling over the other shoulder and finding a few rounds of this movement. Pausing for a moment when you feel about balance the next time. And then let's draw a shape with the nose. So it might be a circle, it might be a figure eight. If there's another shape that you feel called to draw, then allowing yourself freedom of movement here. And then when you're ready, trace your shape the other way. And then let your head come back to center once again when you feel ready. And let's get into our shoulders, rolling the shoulders in whichever direction feels more natural for you. And then let's roll the other way. Releasing the shoulders down. Just finding a few shrugs, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. Then releasing them on the exhale. A couple more times. One more. And getting into the shoulders and the arms a little bit, let's stretch the right arm out wide. And then you'll start to draw very small circles that gradually get bigger. And you can move your arm in whichever direction you'd like to first. And then allow yourself to get to the biggest circle that feels good with your current mobility, your range of motion. And then start spiraling back in again. And then once you get back to your starting point, then we'll spiral the other way, starting off small again, letting the circles get larger and larger until you're exploring your range of motion, whatever mobility is available to you today without pain. And then you'll spiral back in again. Then release that arm. Give yourself a moment to notice differences between the side we've moved and the side we haven't. And then we'll stretch the left arm out. Small spirals to begin, gradually getting bigger. Exploring your range of motion on this side. How much mobility do you have today without pain? And then you'll spiral back in again. And then switch directions once you reach your starting point. Gradually getting bigger. Exploring your range in this direction on this side. And then spiraling the arm back in smaller and smaller circles. Releasing that arm when you're ready. Pause, check in, both arms, both shoulders. Give yourself a chance to breathe. Move anything that needs to move or wiggle. Okay, let's get into the elbows next. Arms out wide, palms facing up. As you exhale, bringing the fingertips towards the shoulders. We'll stretch the arms forward. And releasing the arms. Moving into the wrists. Finding some wrist circles. And then switching directions. And then shaking out the hands and wrists. And then we'll get into the fingers. So let's bring the tip of the first finger to the tip of the thumb to begin. Your hands can rest down on your lap if you like. And the other fingers can either stretch away or they can be loose. You can decide what feels better for you. And then release, and we'll go to the middle finger, touching the tip of the thumb. And same thing, you can either stretch the other fingers away or you can keep them loose. And then the ring finger. And then the pinky finger. And then release all the fingers. And we'll move individual fingers, starting with the thumb. We'll draw circles with the thumbs. If any of the fingers don't want to move in the way you hope they will move, you can help them along gently. We're not looking for pain, but then switch directions. If you need the satisfaction of more movement, you can yet let your other hand help. And then we'll release the thumbs and the first finger or index finger. Switching directions. Just notice if you're holding your breath. Release the index finger, middle finger. Always find one is easier to move than the other as well. Switch directions when you're ready. And then we'll move on to the ring finger, which really doesn't love to move on its own. If you want to stir it, give it the satisfaction of movement in both directions. And then we'll move on to the pinky. Switching directions. And then again, release the fingers, shake out the hands. Give yourself a chance to check in. On the arms all the way to the fingertips. Notice sensations that are present. And let's get into the spine. Let's do a little bit for shoulder blades. So we'll let the hands start off down by your sides. Actually, let's do one of two options. So one option is to do the big sweeping motion, kind of drawing your arms back as you sweep up, and see if you can feel the movement of your shoulder blades as you sweep the arms up and down. The other option would be, since we've used the arms a fair amount today, it would be just to keep the hands on the waist and see if you can draw the shoulder blades together and then release them. Drawing the shoulder blades together and to release them. So whichever your preference is, whichever movement feels better in this moment, you can play with a combination if you like. Just seeing if we can get a little bit of movement or awareness in the shoulder blades. And then when you've moved through a couple of versions a couple of times, or your version a couple of times, we'll come back to neutral again. You can shrug the shoulders if you like, release the arms, and then we'll get into the spine. So for our side bend today, again, options for the hands. You might start off with hands on the waist, or this might be your version today, lengthening up the spine. If it would feel good to have the hands overhead, you can use this as well. And it sometimes helps to feel as though you're extending the side body. And the other option would be to bring the hands together if you choose. So any version. With an inhale, we'll stretch the crown of the head up wherever your arms are. Lift the spine. And then as you exhale, we'll tip over to the right. Inhaling back up when you're ready. And then tip over to the left. Inhaling back up again when you're ready. Release the arms. And pause. Finding our twist. Set yourself up. Lengthen the spine with your inhale. As you exhale, turn maybe to gaze towards the right side. You might turn the shoulders towards the right side. And then let your breath be as smooth as possible. With every inhale, you might again think of lengthening the spine. With your exhale, allowing your body to be where it is in the twist, allowing the breath. Unwinding when you're ready, coming back to center. And give yourself a chance to reset. Give yourself the chance to check in. And then again, lengthening the spine with the inhale. As you exhale, we'll turn towards the left side, maybe turning the head, maybe turning the shoulders. And breathe. Maybe with every inhale, lengthening the spine. With every exhale, settling in. Unwinding when you're ready. And pausing. And then we'll move into our arching and rounding of the spine. Hands can start off on your knees or thighs. And let's start with the exhale this time. So we'll inhale in neutral. And as you exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine, rounding the back, rounding the shoulders, tucking the chin in. And with your inhale, open up the front of the body. Stretch the belly, stretch the chest, pull the shoulders back. Exhaling to round again. Moving between these two shapes. Halloween cat and the arched spine. And then when you feel about balance the next time, make your way back to neutral. A little bit of core work today, your version. Either we can push the hands into the knees and draw the knees up into the hands if that feels good. Or you can play with bringing one knee up at a time, alternating with your breath. Or we can play with balance, coming to the edge of your seat, leaning back towards the backrest. It doesn't need to touch, but you can touch. And maybe bringing both knees in towards you. So deciding which version makes the most sense for you today. And then we'll come into the pose. Pushing your hands into your knees, drawing one knee at a time, or both knees and leaning back. Remember to breathe wherever you are. We'll stay for another 2 full breath cycles. Then releasing the pose, either releasing your hands or releasing the legs down. And give yourself that in-between softness, softening the muscles that we're working. Breathe. Then we'll do another one. Choosing your version, coming into the pose as you're ready. And when you're ready, releasing, softening again. Then making your way back up to your tall seat for the 3rd time through. Choosing your version for this one. When you're ready, come into the pose and breathe. Another 2 breath cycles as long as you feel okay. Releasing when you're ready. Softening. And then making your way up to your tall seat again. And we'll set up so that we can get into the hips. So if your legs need a little more wiggle room, give yourself the space that you need. Set yourself up on the chair so they have the most mobility. And then let's start with the right leg. So drawing the right leg up, we'll find circles in the right hip. If it doesn't feel good to lift the foot, as always, you can draw circles on the ground with your toes as well. And switch directions. Bring your knee forward, keep the thigh still, find some lower leg movement, either circles or back and forth movement. Switch directions if you're using circles. And keep the thigh or the shin still, find some ankle circles. Switching directions when you're ready. Pointing and flexing the foot a few times. Stretching and flexing the toes a few times. Releasing the foot to the ground. Giving yourself a chance to check in between sides. Notice any differences from the side we've moved to the side we haven't yet. And then moving over to the left. Lifting the leg if it feels okay, finding circles in the left hip. Either leg lifted or toes to the ground. Switching directions when you're ready. And bringing the knee forward, keeping the thigh still, lower leg circles. Or movement back and forth. If you're doing the circles, switch directions. And then find some ankle circles. Switching directions. Pointing and flexing the foot a few times. Stretching and flexing the toes a few times. Release the foot to the ground. And pause. We'll move through our seated flow 3 times. When you're ready, starting off in your tall seat, we'll inhale, sweeping the arms up as high as feels okay. Exhale, bring them down again. Arching the spine, stretch into the belly and the chest, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling back up to neutral. Then exhale, fold. With an inhale, sweeping the right arm up into a twist. And then exhale all the way down. Left side, inhaling up into a twist. And then exhaling down. Inhaling all the way back up, sweeping the arms. Releasing hands. Pausing. And then again, when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up, maybe back. Then exhale, sweep down and back. Arching the spine with the inhale, stretch the belly and chest. Exhale, round, Halloween cat. Inhale, back up to neutral. Exhale to fold. Inhale the right arm up into a twist. Then exhale down again. Left side, inhaling up into a twist. And then exhaling down. Coming all the way back up, inhale, sweep the arms. Release hands. Pause for a breath. Third one through, inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, release hands. Arching the spine, inhale, stretch belly and chest. Exhale, round, Halloween cat. Inhale back up to neutral. Exhale to fold. Inhale the right arm up into a twist. Exhale, let the arm come down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. Release hands as you're ready. Give yourself a few breaths to pause, to check in. And then let's come up to standing. Have your chair to the right side of you. Backrest available. And then as you come to standing, give yourself enough space between your feet that you feel very stable, a nice, very balanced stance. And let's do a standing side bend from here. So if you like, your hands can be on your waist, or you can bring the arms overhead, either touching or not touching. We'll inhale, lengthen crown of the head up. Then as you exhale, tipping over towards the chair. Inhale back up when you're ready. Exhale away from the chair. Inhale back up. And release the arms if you're using them or wherever they were held. And then let's get into the legs a little bit and the hips. We'll step the feet wide. Now the toes can start off sort of pointing out, but the direction of your feet can be fairly flexible in our next movement. So the idea is that we'll be swaying from one leg to the other. So this does not have to be a deep bend. It can be very subtle. You can sort of more sway from weight to one leg to weight to the other leg. You can have a fairly narrow stance, or you can make it wider. Sort of playing with getting into a little bit of stretch in the inner thighs, if it feels okay. And then you can decide whether it feels good to stay on one side for a couple of breaths, or if it feels better to keep moving. If you find a really juicy stretch that feels really good, you can pause. Just remember to keep breathing, whether you're moving or not. And we'll make our way back up to center. When you feel about balanced again, bring your feet back to a regular stance. And then we'll turn towards the chair. And with the support of your chair, we'll step right foot forward and left foot back. Right foot, you can come into a little bit of a bend of the knee as deeply as you wish. And the back foot can either be, the foot can be on the floor at an angle, or you can come up onto the toes and let the heel lift. Keep the heart up nice and high. And then see if you can let the heel of the back foot lower enough or get heavier to find some stretch in the back of the left leg. And breathe. And then let's release this side. We'll step the feet back together again. And we'll switch sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. We'll find a bend in the left knee as deeply as you wish. It can also be quite shallow. And then the back heel can be down on an angle, or you can be up on your toes. As you set up, let the heart stay high. And then maybe finding some heaviness in the back heel so that you can find a stretch in the back of the right leg. And it could be anywhere in your leg. You might feel it in the calf, sort of down by the Achilles tendon, right in your ankle, heel. Or it might be up higher, your thigh, back of the thigh. And then we'll step the feet back together again. Even out. We'll have a little add-on for this one. Right foot forward again, left foot back. And this time, if it feels okay for your foot, we will come up onto the toes, the back toes. A little bit of a bend in the right knee. And then just to play, just to sort of assess for yourself your kneeling strength. How would it feel to bend into the back knee, allowing it to dip down any amount and then come back up? So it can be a very tiny dip, it could be a deeper dip. Maybe one more time if it feels okay to play. And then we'll step the feet back together again. Switching sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. Front knee, left knee bends a little bit, coming up onto the right toes. And then playing with the dip in the back knee, maybe lowering it a tiny bit, maybe deeper, a tiny bit. Remembering to breathe. And then stepping the feet back together again when you're ready. And evening out. We'll see if I can fit these next couple of moves in. So there's a preparatory move. We're moving towards a different balance today. Half moon, maybe. But to prepare, let's do a little bit of a triangle. So we'll step the feet wider. We'll turn right toes towards the right. The left toes are pointing pretty much towards the screen or forward. And then one hand can be on the chair, one hand can be on your waist, or both can be on your waist. And just a little sideways tip over the right leg. Let your hip crease deepen. Or let the left hip sort of jut out. Then we can play with the arms here. Either the hand can rest on the chair or on your leg. Top arm can stay on your waist, or you can reach up. And then we'll come back up again. Now to turn this into our half moon pose, the foot will stay where it is, the right foot. And you'll start to shift your weight into the right foot. Then how would it feel to reach to the seat of the chair? Now the left hand can be your support as well. It can come to the backrest. And then how would it feel to lift that back leg? Half moon, here we are, breathe. Coming out whenever you wish. And if you're staying for a couple of breaths, imagine that your shoulders are stacked, your heart is facing the screen. And then release. Even out. Little hip swivels or wiggles. And then we'll switch the chair to the other side. Widening the feet again. Left toes turn towards the chair, right toes face forward. We'll try our triangle variation first. So one hand can be on the chair, one on the waist, or both on the waist. And we're tipping sideways over the left leg. Deepening the hip crease on the left, bringing it in, or jutting out the right hip. And then you might pause there. Hand can stay on the waist, or rest on the chair, or rest on your leg. The right arm can reach up towards the ceiling or stay on the waist. And then we'll come all the way up again. Now to turn this into our half moon pose, we'll shift the weight into the left foot. Left hand will come down to the seat of the chair. The right hand can stay on the backrest for support and helping to keep your heart open. And then maybe lifting that back leg. And breathe. Imagine the shoulders are stacked, the hips are stacked, one on top of the other. Release whenever you want to, when you're ready to come down. Come back to a regular stance, wiggle anything that needs a little wiggle. You can find a couple of hip swivels. It might feel nice after that to find a downward dog with the chair. Hands or wrists or forearms can rest on the chair while you draw the tailbone back. Making your way up when you're ready. And then checking in. What does your body need in the last few moments here before we move back to the chair? Move in any way that makes sense for your body. Sometimes a wide fold can feel nice. Hands can always come to a chair. And then once you've satisfied any of those last movements, any cravings, we'll make our way back to the chair as you're ready. Giving yourself again the space as we move towards closing practice to check in. Check in on your breath. Check in on your body. And your state of mind. Give yourself some spaciousness to be with whatever's here, whatever's going on with you, whatever's present. And as we move to close practice, your hands can stay where they are or come over your heart or in prayer. Sending gratitude to yourself first for making the time to move and breathe together and for honoring your body and your breath. With much gratitude for allowing me to guide you through practice. And with gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us. Om Shanti. Shanti Shanti. Om Peace. Peace, peace. Thank you.